Imagine this. A single discovery deep in the Amazon rainforest. A vault of gold so massive, it makes Fort Knox look like spare change. What if tomorrow morning, satellites detected glittering reflections beneath the jungle canopy? What if the lost gold of the Amazon was finally found? Would it make nations richer, or would it destroy them? Stay with me, because this story might change how you look at history and the future of humanity itself. First, I will tell you about history. In the next few minutes, I'll take you on a journey through time. First, we'll uncover the secrets of the Amazon, a world still unexplored. Then we'll dive into the ancient legends of gold and power that drove men to madness. Yes, you'll hear about real explorers who vanished, empires that collapsed, and the mystery that still haunts scientists today. And finally, we'll imagine what would happen if that gold were discovered in our modern world. How it could rewrite history, destroy economies, and reveal the truth about a civilization that time itself forgot. Ready? Let's go back to where it all began. The Amazon rainforest, 2.7 million square miles of untamed wilderness, 9 countries, thousands of tribes, and more secrets than any place on Earth. For centuries, explorers vanished here. It's not just a jungle, it's a living maze of rivers, insects, and ancient civilizations buried beneath vines and mud. Scientists say we've only explored about 10% of it. Let that sink in. 90% of the Amazon remains a mystery. Somewhere in that unknown lies a legend that haunted the dreams of kings, pirates, and conquerors. The legend of El Dorado, the city of gold. The story begins in the age of exploration, when Spanish ships with billowing white sails cut across the Atlantic. Among them was an explorer named Francisco de Orellana, the man who gave the Amazon River its name. While navigating its endless waters, Orellana and his crew were suddenly ambushed, not by men, but by fierce warrior women. Their arrows struck from the shadows, silent and deadly. Half his men were gone in minutes. Shocked and awed by their ferocity, he named the land after the warrior women of Greek legend, the Amazons. That's right, the entire rainforest and the river itself were named after those mysterious women. But here's where it gets interesting. Orellana wasn't there for war. He was there for gold. Gold rumored to flow through temples, crown kings, and paint bodies like sunlight. Centuries later, a Spanish soldier named Diego de Ordaz found himself lost in the jungle, starving, alone, until a native tribe rescued him. They fed him, sheltered him, and one night they invited him to a coronation ceremony. What he saw that night became one of the greatest legends in human history. As the tribe's new chief stepped forward, he covered his body, head to toe, in fine gold dust. His skin shimmered like a living statue under the sun. Then he sailed to the center of a sacred lake and threw handfuls of gold and emeralds into the water as an offering to the gods. Diego watched in disbelief. The water glowed gold under the sunlight. He'd found it, the Golden Man, or as history remembers him, El Dorado. When Diego escaped and told his story, Europe went insane. Thousands of explorers, mercenaries, and dreamers set sail for South America, chasing a dream that devoured them one by one. Just imagine trying to explain that to your boss. Sorry I'm late. Got lost looking for a city made of solid gold. Would have been a tough HR meeting. In 1537, another conquistador named Hernan Perez reached the lake Diego described. Desperate to prove the legend true, his men started draining the lake with buckets. Yeah, buckets. But somehow they actually found gold, hundreds of pounds of it, statues, jewelry, ornaments. Soon, Spain was flooded with gold from the Amazon. So much, in fact, that it became worthless. Historical records say that at one point, Spain had so much gold that bread cost more than a bar of it. But the curse of greed didn't stop there. Hundreds of workers drowned when the lake's mud walls collapsed. From that day, locals called it the Cursed Lake of El Dorado. No one dared to touch it again. For centuries, but legends never die. In the early 1900s, British explorer Hartley Knowles tried again. He brought machines, pumps, and ambition, but fate had other plans. When he drained the lake, all that remained was a thick layer of mud, filled with gold. Yet when they waited for the mud to dry, it hardened like concrete. Game over. Knowles went bankrupt. The jungle won again. Even today, that lake still exists, hidden somewhere in Colombia, its exact location sealed by the government. Satellite images show illegal gold miners still cutting deep into the forest, chasing what they believe lies beneath the trees, the lost gold of the Amazon. So, what if? What if tomorrow, explorers unearth the true treasure of El Dorado? A mountain of gold hidden for centuries under roots and vines. Economists say that if even a fraction of that gold, say $1 trillion worth, suddenly hit the market, it would collapse the global economy overnight. Currencies would fall, countries would panic, and billionaires might not stay billionaires for long. But beyond economics, think about the politics. Who owns it? Brazil. Colombia. The tribes who still guard those forests? Or the world, since that gold technically belonged to no one for centuries? Wars have been fought for far less. And the strangest part, if El Dorado is real, it means entire civilizations in the Amazon built cities far more advanced than we ever imagined. Cities that charted stars before telescopes even existed. Civilizations that vanished, without a trace. What happened to them? That, my friends, might be the greatest mystery of all. And here's something wild. NASA satellites recently detected geometric patterns beneath the jungle floor. Perfect squares and circles. Cities buried under centuries of soil. Could those be the remnants of El Dorado? Or something even older? Maybe the true treasure of the Amazon isn't gold. Maybe it's knowledge. Knowledge of civilizations that thrived, respected nature, and then disappeared, leaving behind stories that still make us wonder. Because in the end, every lost city, every legend, and every hidden lake reminds us of one thing. The jungle doesn't just hide secrets, it protects them. If you think the story of El Dorado ends here, think again. In our next episode, we'll uncover the shocking truth about the lost astronomers of the Amazon, the civilization that mapped the stars long before NASA ever looked up. So hit that like button, share this mystery with your friends, and subscribe to Imagine What If, because the next chapter is even stranger than this one.